All right, 4 o'clock having come, I call the Justice Committee to order. All members are present, all current members are present. Um, Do we have any appearances by members of the public?
Chair Rogal, we've had no requests this evening.
All right. Consent agenda, approval of the minutes from December 3rd, regular meeting minutes, and November 14th, stand-up meeting, and recommendation of approval of bills and/or transfers. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Reeves, second by Member Mendoza. The bills are for $505,848.87. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? No? All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the minutes are approved and the bills are paid. Number 4, departmental matters. All right. First up, we have the McLean County State's Attorney, Ms. Reynolds. Do you have anything for us today?
I do not, thank you.
All right. All right, let's see. Does anybody have any questions for the State's Attorney? Nope. All right. We'll move on to 4B, which is Circuit Clerk Everhart, who is not able to join us today. His report for October and November is in the packet. Does anybody have any questions about those? Good. I don't think I can answer them. Next up, 4C, Sheriff Lane. You have a few items up. We'll start with 4C1A, agreement with Idemia, probably not pronouncing that right, Identity and Security USA LLC for system maintenance. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Mendoza, second by Member Hanson. Sheriff Lane?
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is an agreement to keep up the software and maintenance for our fingerprint machines in our jail.
Does anybody have any questions? No? All right. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And the ayes have it. The agreement with Idemia Identity and Security USA LLC is approved. C1B, request approval of a grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and the Office of Homeland Security? Homeland, yeah, thought it might be a little off there. Homeland Security, can I have a motion? Motion by Member Reeves, second by Member Fagan. Sheriff Lane?
This is a reoccurring grant that pays a lot of our bills for EMA, which has a very modest budget, so this takes care of a lot of our expenses for EMA.
Does anybody have any questions? No? All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the request is approved of the grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and the Office of Homeland Security. Next up is C1C, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of McLean, Olympia Community Unit School District 15, and the McLean County Sheriff. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Reeves, second by Member Fagan. Sheriff Lane?
This is a renewal of an ongoing agreement that we've had with the school district for many years. There's just a few small updates as far as the amount that they will pay, because it's gone up with the deputy salary, and a few other minor adjustments. But other than that, it's a standard contract with them.
Does anybody have any questions?
I
Member
do.
Hanson?
Less of a question, more I will be abstaining as my husband is employed by the school district and my mother serves on the school board.
All righty. Anybody else have any questions? Member Reeves?
Sheriff, how many resource officers do we have in the county?
We only have the one for Olympia. I actually, it's funny you should ask. I was at Cornerstone Christian Academy today. They would like to have one, but there's a problem with private education school districts having an officer there. So I'm trying to work through that as we speak and try to get some clarification. But there are others that have, I think That's the only one that I have a resource officer at. Leroy, I know, has one. I think Colfax Ridgeview School District has one. It's been talked about in Lexington, but I don't think they have one yet. So it's been talked about in just about every school district, but as of right now, I only have one.
Any other questions? Just a couple, I have a couple, just follow up. So I take it this officer isn't there year-round?
No, sir. They only pay for him while he's there.
Okay,
So during the summer months, they don't pay for him.
okay.
They pay by the hour for him for the most part. When he's there, they pay for him. When he's not, they don't.
All right, anything else? No? All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. One abstention. And the request is approved for an intergovernmental agreement between the County of McLean, Olympia Community Unit School District 15, the McLean County Sheriff's Office. And Sheriff, you have a report, and do you want to say anything else to us?
To add to the report, we at this point have 4 not guilty by reason of insanity, 9 and soon to be 10 on the unfit to stand trial list waiting for services from DHS. I have 15 in a behavioral health pod on top of that. It's the same issue that we've been facing. DHS cannot get open beds to assist these people. So we're doing our best to assist them while they're here, and even talking with DHS on how we try to make them fit while they're here. That has happened on occasion before they even hit DHS. But there are certain things they can do that we cannot. It's just by law. So that is an ongoing project. But on top of those issues, we have 9 men and 11 women, I think, that are waiting for DOC. I'm sorry, 9 men and 2 women that are waiting to be transported to DOC, some of which are here on DOC warrants that used to go to DOC when they were being held on a warrant. And now they wait till their current case is resolved, which is a lot of time that we're keeping people that we didn't have to used to do. So those are all I had to add. Is there any questions for me, Mr. Chairman?
Any questions from the members? I've got like 1 or 2.
Yeah, sure.
So while you're still holding the 11 for IDOC, IDOC still pays not at all?
No, sir.
Okay.
They do not.
And for the DHS, is it because of where we're sending them, or is it they just don't have any beds anywhere?
There are no beds anywhere.
That's what I thought.
Mr. Chairman, from what I understand, there are none. And I understand they're trying to open up facilities and expand facilities. What I was told about a year ago at a conference from DHS was even if they had the facility, they would not have the staff that was qualified to work with these patients. So they're trying to recruit people to do that. So it's going to be probably a long time.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
No one has anything else? We will move on. Next up, we have 4D, McLean County Coroner, Ms. Yoder. You don't have anything up for action. Would you like to give us an insight on your report?
I have nothing to add. Plus, just for clarification, I'm not a miss. I'm either a Mrs. or a doctor. Sorry. Thank you, though. I don't mean to be rude. I just,
That's fine.
thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for the coroner? No? All right. 4E, Public Defender, Mr. Lewis. You don't have anything for action before us tonight? Do you want to present your caseload report or give us any other information?
I don't have anything in addition to what's provided in the monthly report. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for the public defender? No? All right, we will move on to 4F, Circuit Court. Mr. Scanlon is not here, all right. All right, his first action item is 4F1A, request approval of a change request to the agreement with Mission Critical Partners. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Mendoza, second by Member Hanson, sorry. All right, Administrator Taylor?
Thank you, Chair. So as this committee is well aware, we've been working for several years to update and overhaul the electronic justice system, which we call Aegis. This request is a change order request for an agreement that we currently have with our consultants, Mission Critical Partners, to provide some additional resources to the county specifically for the CMS or the case management system that would encompass all of the judicial system staff. So the courts and probation, state's attorney, public defender, clerk. And so that is what this request is for.
Does anybody have any questions? Member Klaus?
Was this in the budget when we went through that? Was it already accounted for then, or is this in addition to what we've had?
This difference can be encompassed within the current budget due to other changes that they've made in their adjustments in their special funds. I was looking to see if it was called out in his memo, but I'm not seeing it.
Does anybody else have any questions? Nope. All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, and the request is approved for the change request to the agreement with Mission Critical Partners. Next up, we have 4F1B, request approval of an amendment to the neutral site custody exchange and supervised visitation center agreement. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Mendoza, second by Member Klaus. Administrator Taylor?
Thank you, Chair. This is an annual agreement for the custody exchange that they have over at the Law and Justice Center. This is a renewal agreement. It's probably been in place 15 years. If you have any questions specific to the agreement, I'd be happy to answer. We contract with BrightPoint, which is a local service provider.
Does anybody have any questions? Seeing none. All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. The request is approved. The amendment to the neutral site custody exchange and supervised visitation center agreement. Next up, we have 4G1A, court services. Request approval of an administrative office of the Illinois Courts DOJ BJA Community Supervision Strategies Swift Certain Fair Grant Program Subrecipient Grant Agreement. Wow. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Fagan, second by Member Mendoza. Ms. Montoya.
Good evening. McLean County was selected as a subrecipient of this grant through the Administrative Office of Illinois Courts. We are one of 2 counties in the state of Illinois that were selected as subrecipients. As mentioned in the memo, McLean County started an emerging adult unit through our probation department in September of 2019, which was new to the state of Illinois. We were the first county in the state to start that through a probation department. So we are trying to tailor the services that we provide for the 18 to 25-year-old population. Since we know that's kind of a gray area, you're an adult in the criminal justice system, but still very much juvenile-minded. And so we are working really heavily with that population on trauma and brain development. And so luckily, as a subrecipient of this grant, we will have some extra funding to provide additional services to this population. As the memo states, the grant for federal fiscal year 2025 is $90,300, and the total amount of the award for 3 years is $275,350.
Does anybody have any questions? No, I don't see any. All right, all those in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay. And the request is approved. The Administrative Office of the Illinois Courts, DOJ, BJA Community Supervision Strategy, Swift Certain Fair Grant Program Subrecipient Grant Agreement. Next up, we have 4G1B, request approval of invoices. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Hanson, second by Member Fagan. Would you like to cover this for us?
Sure. I would like to first clarify some of the verbiage in my memo to change it from the auditor will not to the auditor has not approved the following invoices. As shown in the memo, there are invoices dating back to January of 2024 that have not been covered. Also stated in the memo, this was also a federal grant through the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and Center for Youth and Family Solutions was our subrecipient on this grant. So they housed the program and the services, and then the money was passed through McLean County to CYFS for the services needed. This grant started in September of 2019. And went relatively smoothly. In January of 2024, the auditor began requiring a different level of documentation as to what was needed from the Center for Youth and Family Solutions for those invoices to be paid. In March of 2024, we sent an email to the auditor asking if she could give us some type of instruction as to what level of detail was needed for submissions so that we could avoid any denials of invoices. We never heard a response from her. She did make partial payments on invoices from January to September, but there was still an outstanding balance of $1,538.07. From January to September for multiple services listed in those invoices. This grant ended on September 30th of 2024, and we have 120 days from the end date to close out the award and to draw down federal funds from this grant. So on September 30th, we started the closeout process, and several emails were sent to the auditor letting her know that these invoices were still pending to be paid. We did not get responses on many of those emails. We sent further documentation of the invoices and receipts. Many were duplicate of what we had already sent from January through September. On November the 19th, she responded, "Here's what I can approve," which was still short the $1,538.07. Again, additional documentation was sent to her. I think that's the third time for request of approval on these invoices. She was told on 3 different occasions, December 9th, December 20th, and January 3rd, that if they were not paid, it would have to go to justice, as the final drawdown date for this grant is January 29th to get any reimbursement to the county. I also have Stephanie Barish here from Center for Youth and Family Solutions if you have any additional questions for her in regards to the invoices.
Any member of the committee have any questions? No, all right. All those in favor, vote aye. For the invoices to be paid. All right. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the invoices, the request approval of the invoices has been approved. All right. Next up, items to be presented for information, your report. You have anything to mention to us outside of that?
These are just standard monthly statistics, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Does anybody have any questions? Not anymore. Nope. All right. So next up, we have 4H1A under the Children's Advocacy Center. Request approval of a Casa Boca, I guess, continuation grant for fiscal year 2025. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Hanson, second by Member Reeves.
This is just a request for approval for a continuation grant. This is a recurring grant for the CASA program. We just need approval for this new fiscal year. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Member Hanson?
I would just like to commend our CASA and CAC staff. The VOCA grant, as I have been involved in the process of that renewal before, is a highly, highly selective one. And so congratulations on continuation.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? All right, all those in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay. And the request is approved for the CASA VOCA continuation grant for fiscal year 2025. Next up, you have a few items to be presented for information. 4H2A is the CAC reclassification.
We are requesting to reclassify a director position to a coordinator position, so it would move from grade 11 to a grade 8 position. And that's for the CAC staff.
All right. And then you have a CASA FTE amendment.
Yes, that is amending the FTE for the CASA program to reflect the 1.5 FTEs that are being added for the Logan expansion.
Does anybody have any questions about either of those? No? Administrator Taylor?
I just want to mention that those are listed in your information items because they will be voted on by the Finance Committee that comes up next. And so that's why they're information instead of action items for those of you who have not seen that before.
All right, and then you have your monthly report. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
I do not have anything to add, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody have any other questions? Nope. All right. Last up, Administrator Taylor, do you have anything for us?
I have nothing to present to this committee this night.
All right. Does anybody have any other business or communications for the committee? Nope. All right, our next meeting will be February 5th at 4 o'clock. So if we have nothing else, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.